At the GECOM Commission meeting on Monday to deliberate on the most recent report submitted by the Chief Elections Officer of GECOM, Keith Lowenfield, the chairperson instructed the CEO to prepare another report based on the tally of votes from the national recount exercise. However, Attorney General of Guyana, Basil Williams, is contending that the GECOM chairperson, Justice Claudette Singh, retired, cannot tell the CEO what to include in his report.
There's no basis for the chairman of the GECOM to even tell the CEO that he has to use the votes of the recount. They do not exist.
Explaining his position as to why he says the votes from the national recount exercise do not exist, the Attorney General posited.
The votes of the recount do not exist because they came under Order 60 of 2020, and that has been rendered nugatory by the CCJ.
Mr. Williams referenced Article 177(2)(b) of the Constitution, where it says, and I quote, "That presidential candidate shall be deemed to be elected as president and shall be so declared by the chairman of the Elections Commission, acting only in accordance with the advice of the Chief Election Officer, after such advice has been tendered to the Elections Commission at a duly summoned meeting." The Attorney General made it pellucid that the chairman of the Elections Commission can only declare results based on the advice of the CEO and not vice versa.
The chairman ought not to direct or purport to direct the CEO what to put in his advice. That has to go back to them. I've shown you that it would be tantamount to her acting on her own advice instead of acting only on his advice or the CEO's advice.
The Attorney General, in asserting that the CCJ, in its ruling in the case of Irfan Ali versus Eslin David, had ultimately vitiated the results of the recount exercise, shared the view that the results should be based on the information furnished from the statutorily mandated returning officers. This, he believes, was the intention of the CCJ in its ruling.
So the CCJ is directing us to the established electoral machinery under the Constitution and the Acts of Parliament that govern elections in Guyana.
Meanwhile, earlier on Tuesday, an application was filed by Masinga Jones, a coalition supporter, asking the High Court of Guyana to, among other things, grant that the chairperson of GECOM can only declare the results of the 2020 election based on the report submitted by the CEO. The High Court will first have to establish whether it has jurisdiction to hear the matter. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Wendell Badrie.